Okay, recording starting. Stream should be starting. Alrighty then. And, well, I'd like to welcome everyone to the 20th multiplayer test. I have some good news and bad news as far as things go, but there's definitely progress. Matt and I kind of tracked down one of the other major bugs in the system. I was not able to completely eradicate it because I eradicated part of it and then something else popped up. You know how this goes. So every time you fix one thing, another thing blows up, and I'm tracking down, and I wasn't able to get that all done in time for today's live stream. Sorry about that. However, there are some new things today. And instead of spoiling it for you, I will let people see if they can figure it out. Now, some people already know what this is, and some people don't. So, I guess without further ado, we will go in and have people join in. And is everybody ready for that kind of stuff?
Standing by.
Ready.
All right. So, how's our audio, by the way? I don't know if anybody's even checked it.
Checking.
I was working on it, but I got sidetracked.
It's okay. No, it's definitely one of those days, weeks. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So I do actually have some things are going to be a little more serious testing, some things are just going to be whatever. So, one of the things that was requested was to, server is up by the way, is to have a test environment where we don't necessarily have the enemy breathing down our neck because we're still playing with something. So, do people want to start with that, or do people want to start with something else?
That depends on what's on the menu for testing today.
Well, there's a couple things. I'm not sure if Adam's here today or not, but one of the things with him was the shields did get fixed in the sense of they were at least made usable in the quick designer. The problem is we really don't know whether it's a good idea or bad idea to have the current specs that they are right now. And so we're going to do tests of shooting each other, both sitting there and actually in a dogfight, and see how OP they are.
Probably that makes sense to set up a couple teams.
And
ignore the AI. No
okay.
AI.
All right, then we'll do. All right, I clicked on no enemy AI, and the other stuff will be a little more obvious when we get to it. There's only one other thing, which actually we can still test. We have two different teams, so we'll do alpha beta. So I guess people pick who wants to be on what. Jordan, you want to be War Master on Alpha, or you want to be what do you want to do?
I appear to be Mayor on Alpha, while Matt is War Master on Alpha.
All right, Matt wants to be War Master. Okay, that's fine with me. I don't care. All right, so
we need some more people in beta team.
Yeah, I don't know how to operate the build
It
bot,
is
so someone who
3
knows
to
how to
3.
do
It
that.
looks like.
And Ogre's missing.
no, Ogre's here. This guy's
there he
Scroll.
is. Oh,
Adam
yeah,
and
I
Ogre
didn't
on
scroll
beta.
high enough.
So does anybody on beta know actually how to build buildings in the whole 9 yards or no?
Not really, no.
Shouldn't someone on beta actually know that concept?
Okay, I'm beta now.
I was just saying, well, Ernest was just saying that.
Yeah. So is anybody left on Alpha? It's myself, Matt, and Paul.
Yeah, now it's 3 and 3.
Okay, fair enough.
3 and 4, I think.
Matt, do you want to handle the city, or am I handling the city?
Nope.
No,
It was
I can
4
build the
on
city.
2, now it's 3
Huh?
on 3.
I can build the city, so you can concentrate on the live stream.
Okay, that's fine. All right, everybody ready? Looks like they are. All right, we're going in. Now this should work. We'll find out. There we go. I see the other guys on the far end there. Shoot, I left the debug stuff turned on. Of course I did.
Am I really, really high in the sky?
Yes. Also, hi, Kathleen.
Yes,
Nice
and
to
hi
meet you,
Kathleen.
Jen.
Yes, I forgot about that. Hello. So yeah. Alright, yeah, let's not shoot at me, Paul.
Sorry.
I didn't even target you, I knew it was you. Um, so the problem, of course, is I left the debugging turned on for the AI. I guess that's... Is it too annoying for people, or people can deal with it?
I'm not
I
seeing
don't actually
anything.
see it.
Because I only see it in my live stream, because I'm the server. That makes a lot of sense. And I also left the local debugging turned on, which is like making my system crawl horribly.
Well, if you want to restart, now is the time.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
Lol.
So let me exit out. Did anybody notice? There are two things that I did. I was curious if anybody noticed me do one of the changes.
No.
The other thing I noticed right now is when you exited the server, there's a whole bunch of text that just popped up on my screen, but that's new.
No.
I know,
That's
but I'm just saying that I don't think it's supposed to be there, but
right.
I got the same thing actually.
Well, it's supposed to tell you that it's disconnecting you, but that never
no,
quite
it's-
ever worked right. I never really sat there and really went overkill to try to figure that out.
This was entirely different. Like as a whole,
yeah.
like a third of the screen was covered in text. It seemed to be a repeating pattern.
That's because I bet you that was the AI debug because it defaulted to you
Yeah.
because of.
Action, go to
Okay,
building
yeah.
site, final score 0.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the new AI, but it was only showing up on my screen. And because I disconnected, it went, "Oh, you're the server now." Blah, you know. Or what actually happened was, because you got kicked off, it knew you weren't connected anymore, but it knew the game had started, so all the AI handling became local, and that's why seeing the debug. So yay. So I did two things that will make this thing a lot nicer for me on the live stream. It is recompiling as we speak. So I turned off the AI debugging. I hope that there's nothing hidden in there that's going to cause me a problem. And I turned off the massive spamming that is the local server debug log, which isn't bad when there's one or two people. When there's 6 or 7, it cripples the system because it's just spewing so much. I think we ended up having a half gig log just after like 10 minutes. It's just because it was just sending out so much. It was like, oh my gods. So it's like, no. All right, so server is up again. And we will try again with having different teams. I'll be on Alpha, I guess, and I'll be an Admiral. Thank you for bearing with me on that.
No problem.
Yeah, I could that load of text on your screen. I could just see how that would have been unpleasant.
Well, I mean, you guys didn't see it, so it wasn't a problem for you, but everybody in the live stream sees it. It's like, you know.
When you put out, you could that would have been.
Paul, which team are you going to be on?
Oh, sorry. I was clicking on yours. I apologize.
And yeah.
How many of each do we have at this point?
I think there's 7 of us, so it's only ever going to be like 4 to 3.
Yeah, that's
right.
fine. All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, see now the stuff is gone, and now I'm getting, 60 frames a second rather than 30 because I'm not spamming the log. Interesting when you figure that one out. So, first things first. I guess it's Matt. You building the city?
Yes, I am.
All right. So for those who are vaguely interested, let's see if this is actually here or not before I put a foot in my mouth. If you go to the factory screen and go into the quick designer, and then scroll right, so you see the ships on the left, we actually have 4 new ships. They're not. 3 of them were finalized in the sense of the normal mapping. 1 of them isn't. That will be changed after today. The shields on them are completely borked because the auto thing it's just hard. So I have to wait until someone actually can actually make shields for them. So don't try to use them with shielding. And I guess the one ship is turned the other way. That's nice. All right. So I'll be flying backwards. The other thing is the cockpit point of view hasn't been set on them yet, but they do exist. So if you want to see what they look like, we can go into the ship builder and bring them out a little bit bigger. So this is one of the brand new freighters.
By the way, Ernest, I know we don't actually have an economy yet, but would you give me the money?
Yes, I was looking at this. I was actually heading that way, and I went into the shipbuilder.
Give me the money. All right.
Trying to,
Oh, there's no glitch in one of the models, but all right, I'll get that taken care of.
Ooh, new ship models, yay.
Yep, they need shields desperately. I tried to make shields with them, so don't make a shielded ship with these, please. They do have shields. They turn in some Eldritch demon, more like an Eldritch deity the size of a planet, and we literally get pushed off from the surface about 100,000 feet. And it
I would
looks...
argue that that's an excellent shield.
Yeah, well, it looks like a leaf on the wind. And Matt and I were testing it the other day, and it was sort of like, yeah, we're just like thwapping each other in high orbit because the shield pushed you off the planet so far, because it's part of your radius. So yeah.
But you
This
were probably very safe.
kind of. Now this is the one I'm showing now on the screen is one with the normal's not quite right, which is why the shadowing is not correct on it. Here's the new one. This does have the normals correct on it, as you can see. And you can also see the shininess and everything else is set correctly. And I'll show the last one. This one wasn't as tweaked so much as the others were with the normal mapping and the roughness and such, but it's here anyway. So I want honest opinions of the new ships, if you can see them.
Very nice.
Obviously, you can pilot them, but expect some visual glitching because you're gonna pilot from the very center of the ship. I have to fix that. I literally only got them up earlier today, and so it's like I just don't have time. Now the other thing that I wanted to go in and talk about was, and hopefully this is true, what happens when everybody flies towards the surface? Do they notice anything different?
Flooring it.
I mean, I did not know.
Is it more
Ooh,
texture?
the ground looks nice.
yeah, check that out. There's more grounds. So you got your layered placements in.
So now we have yet another texture for different scales. We have the planetary level texture, kind of a tile level texture, which is what does the grooves and stuff like that. And now we have a detail level texture that, as you can see, is right there when we were on top of it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And so now I had been crediting Adam to complaining that it would pixelate out because it didn't have that before. He claims he didn't say it. Who else wants to say that they're responsible for that? All right. Well, I changed it because I thought Adam was complaining about, so I updated it. So there. Now, I am going to do something very annoying, and let's see what happens. I am going to charge the enemy base. I am not going to fire. But let's see what actually happens.
Hi, Ogre.
Hello. So I encountered something strange, which is part of why I'm over near you guys now.
Mm-hmm.
You hit something and switch screens, and when I switched back, the afterburner was still depressed, even though I wasn't pressing it.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
Really?
But I just
Okay.
switched screens.
Okay.
By the
Yeah,
way,
I was like, why am I still accelerating? I set movement to 0 and not pressing the afterburner.
beta team, we have a factory, soon to be 2 factories, and all basic ship stuff researched.
Whee.
So if you'd like to go nuts with some shields, have fun.
Alright, so just use the known ships that work with shields, okay?
Duke.
I guess there's too many of you. If you can, Jordan, don't build any turrets. And if everybody could evacuate your base for a minute, I'd like to show you something.
Okay. One moment, my builder bot is going on a journey.
Now, did you do that, or did it on its own?
Did it on its own. Why would
Good.
it do?
Alright. That's the point. It's supposed to run because I'm in the vicinity. Because everybody else left the base. So when
the problem, though, it ran to the ends of the earth.
it will come back. So when I run away, it comes back.
Here's the problem with your blind test. I told it to stop, so it doesn't come back.
Well,
Because I
then
thought
it will
was
stop
glitching.
running. Once I
I
get
just thought
out
it
of
was
range.
glitching again.
Huh?
I just thought it was glitching again.
No. That was actually the test. See, it's on its way back, isn't it?
Because I told it to do something.
Alright, but still. Alright, then I'll run towards it again and see if it runs.
Okay.
Because that's actually meant to be a feature. Now, one of the things I'd mentioned to Ogre was that when Adam and Matt and I tested this last week, the builder bot was relatively quick. I mean, because it's just afterburned out of there. So it's the first AI ship that's actually knows how to afterburner. And the problem with that is that he had a very difficult time shooting it down. And so the question is, if it just does the normal putt-putt speed, it doesn't go that quickly. But if it goes at high speed, now, Jordan, I don't know if you're near the ship because you move away from it because it.
As a note for future, you probably should have included an alert that said it says something like builderbot fleeing.
Right.
Because if I'm not actively looking at it, I should definitely know if my builderbot has started running away.
Well, there's a lot of notifications. I've asked Chris for that. I think it's running away at this point.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's running away at this point. It actually, what it does is part of the calculation is, so you left the area. That's why it ran. Because it went, I'm here alone. And it went, oh, I'm here alone, I'm leaving now. It actually takes into account how many friendlies are nearby with guns and how many enemies are nearby with guns. And especially if it's there by itself, it just runs if there's an enemy around. And that's why it's going run away. Now, I've pulled away, and it should slow down and come back and continue where it left off.
Oh, I just crashed the desktop.
Okay.
I'm still in the game.
We're trying to.
I mean, this is an incredibly griefable setup you've done, as it is now further away from my base than your base is.
Mm.
So it ran so far away that you now have all the time in the world to do literally anything you want in the time it's going to take to come back.
Well, I mean, the builder bot wasn't something that. See, that's the whole thing. If you were there and you had other ships there, it would not have run. Matter of fact, you saw that. Without it, so if it has no protections, it's going to run. With protections, it will come back and resume duties.
True. But in the
If you
default
had a
game
turret
plan-
down, if you had a turret down, it considers that a protective thing, and therefore would have not run.
It's just in the default game that we plan that is planned. There wouldn't be any ships with guns just yet, and it would.
It wouldn't have run.
And so an enemy could pop out a very tiny ship that's not an actual real threat and run my builder bot off if I haven't popped out any other ships yet.
If the enemy ship had guns, then yes. If it did not have any guns, then no.
Right, but I mean, like, it can have a gun and not be a serious threat, but it's enough to make my builder bot run so far away that now I'm crippled. And so, in an effort to protect my builder bot, it's cost me my builder bot.
Well, that's the whole point. If
It should have
I was there with a gun and you had nothing else there, your builder bot was dead anyway.
What I'm saying is it should have a maximum distance.
It runs.
1 second.
The idea is that if it's in pursuit, it keeps running. Meaning, if this was a real
Were you
like
in pursuit, or were
we're
you
fighting.
hanging in my city.
What's that?
Were you in pursuit, or were you just hanging in my city?
I hung in your city and it ran to get away, which is a couple miles away, and then I retreated. Which is why it came back already.
It ran further away from my city than your city is. So it wasn't that it was in pursuit. It was that you were, existed in my city, and therefore it ran so far away that, you could have built 3 or 4 more buildings or spawned several more ships in the time it took to come back.
Alright, let's start this all over again, Jordan.
Okay.
If I, as a gunship, approaches your completely unprotected builder bot, it's supposed to run, because otherwise it dies. You know darn well how quickly the builder bot dies with even a simple single gun. Right? Now, it floored it to get the hell out of Dodge. The system is set up to run at 1 mile and 4 miles. Now, our cities happen to be starting very closely. In a normal game, that wouldn't be the case. Now, I can't read whoever typed that. My point is that it's supposed to run. If you were still there, matter of fact, with you being in your base, it will not run. If you had any turrets, it will not run. If you know what I mean.
Okay. What I'm saying is that runs so far away that you may as well have killed it, because it would have been faster for me to go in the factory and produce a new builder bot than the time it took to come back. So if it's the equivalent of having died, then it's being too cowardly.
Well, that's something we can adjust.
That's just what I've been saying, just that it runs too far. I'm not saying it's
I
that it runs.
disagree completely, but that's, the reality is that if it doesn't run that kind of speed, I will shoot it down and kill it. That's the long and short of it.
Is there any way to maybe change its pathing to a spiral versus a straight line?
Then it's too easy to kill. Basically, we've all fought in the. Kathleen was saying that the system is. The audio is breaking up for whatever reason. I don't know why the audio is breaking up. I mean, we have a good connection and all of it, everything. In any case, yeah,
Kathleen says it's okay now.
Are you getting the Windows messaging on this?
I am hearing Windows messaging. Yes.
All right, yeah. So,
Yeah, same.
if you're gonna do chat, do the chat within Twitch, so that doesn't, go into the live stream. In any case, but like I said, the whole point was, if we can do this the other way around. Now, Jordan, on our side, we must have a factory up by now, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So was it? Do we have any turrets down?
No, but I can put.
No, don't put any turrets down. So I want to prove the opposite here. because to go into what Jordan's complaint was. All right, all of us vacate our city. Okay, the builder bot should still be in our city. Ogre, would you be so kind as to try to go kill our builder bot, please?
In the process of over doing this, I'd like to give Matt a bug report to look into.
Okay.
Now, before you go after it, Ogre, make sure that we're out of the city, or else it's not going to run.
Yep, I just had to close distance a bit before.
Right. So so everybody get a decent clip away from our city. Now we can always build another one if Ogre decides to kill it, but it's that kind of situation. All right.
All right, and that in the quick auto designer, I accidentally hit apply or save twice,
Okay.
and the cost of the trapdoor that I made, the cost changed. So I got one that's 72.40.52, and another one that's 72.37.90. But all I did is hit save twice by accident.
And it's because it's keep on recalculating. Is anybody still in the city?
I shouldn't be, but
I should be clear.
crashed, so give me just a moment to get back in and I'll confirm.
All right. There's the builder bot. I'm seeing a bunch of things there that I didn't expect to be there. All right, Adam, you built. See, this is what I'm talking about. Adam, if you're in the city, this negates the test.
I like the new icons.
The new icons?
Yeah, for the ships.
Oh, it means in the factory screen.
Ah, yes. I should
Also,
probably
I
show that.
crashed on attempting to add a ship to the queue in factory screen.
Oh, I'm gonna try it now.
All right, but unfortunately, with everybody building ships, it negates the test. Because
I am on the other team.
oh, fair enough. Adam, could you move the ship that you have built there out of the city, please?
Did it actually build it? Because every time I tried to do it, it crashed on me.
It's sitting there in the middle of the city, which means the builder bot's not going to run.
I guess it actually worked then. Because it crashed when I tried to add it to the queue. Oh, I see. So it actually added it to the queue, but it crashed at the same time. I get it.
Hey Jordan, which factory did you queue up?
The first one, I queued up a builder bot. It probably, like much with Adam, it probably did go through.
Well, I
I've
didn't see
seen
it in the list.
Well, there has been a lot of modifications to the. Yeah, the builder bot's not going to run because we still have another ship sitting in the middle of our city.
Yeah, I just attempted Jordan's move and I did the same thing happened to me. Crashed desktop.
Alright, so that's disconcerting. Apparently we have a persistent crash when people add things to the build queue.
Matt, could you add something to the build queue? Although I know you can't do anything about it because we need to. What's causing the problem? Is it the? I know Matt's been doing a lot of things to the factory screen to try to get it to look prettier.
No, I think I know what it is because I got a crash in there too.
Okay.
It's been a persistent problem, and I
There it goes.
tried to fix it.
Okay.
And it lessened the occurrence, but apparently it hasn't gotten rid of it entirely.
Fair enough.
Even though I did crash, I do see my ship in the queue when I came back in.
Well, that means the networking part worked right. There's something in a different part, maybe? I don't know. I mean, the fact that it crashed the rest of us says to me it'd be more in the interface. Would you agree with that, Matt?
Yes. No,
Okay.
It's definitely in the interface.
Yeah, I did not see Jordan's builder bot go in when he said he crashed. I did not see builder bot appear.
Builder bots go through very quickly.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, they do. So we have on our end one with the newer, ship model. But as you can see, these different things are for at least for the viewers. Ogre, if you want, destroy our builder bot. I'll just build another one just so I can show what it looks like.
Working on it.
All right, so that's actually kind of the point. It's meant to be hard to kill the damn builder bot. Isn't that the idea? Now, the builder bot is running away from Ogre. Going, run away, run away. So the question really becomes, I know Jordan's argument, but the point is, do you want the damn thing to survive or not? You know, if you
I mean,
don't want it to survive, then that's one thing. And obviously it's glitching now, but I mean, Ogre got it now.
I mean, I would certainly like the option to tell it, the task I'm telling you to do is more important than your survival. To basically put it on, not coward mode. But I
Fair enough.
feel like it ran extremely far away, and that I think what Ernest said, it would be better if the builder bot played more evasively rather than just running a straight line away.
Or maybe having Afterburner on return.
Yeah.
If it got far enough away, it would have. But it has to be 100 seconds away for the afterburner back. And the problem is it doesn't have the calculations to use the thing to know how much you should afterburn before it slows down.
I think I know why I might have crashed, because I had no money.
That should have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that doesn't affect me, Ernest. I have all the money.
Yeah,
So, Ogre, we should be so kind as to finish it off, because obviously it's out of reactor juice.
I did blow up.
actually, I do have a little catch there. Did you guys remove the timer countdown from the factories, or am I just missing something?
No, that means you don't have enough money. It blew up for you, but it didn't blow up for me on the server. I still see it moving.
Well, I can't target it because who the hell's firing at me?
Well, you can't target it because once it's disabled, you can't target it without going through the old raunchy way of getting to it, because it's considered disabled, so it's a feature.
I can't even see it on the screen. It blew up.
Alright. So you actually saw it blow up?
I saw the fireball.
Alright.
So, or at least I got the spinning wheel up there.
Alright. Well, I tried to kill it, and my system froze.
Okay. So it's you that's got it stuck.
At this point, well, does somebody else have it locked, or what's going on?
I mean, your system's frozen.
I'm not crashed.
Yeah, I'm still in the game. But I'm hearing a constant laser like hitting ground or so effect. And
That's because...
I'm closing program. Let me know.
Yep, I just froze. Tried to.
Well, that's because Alright, now I'm back again, because
Yeah.
I guess Ernest was still in.
Yeah, it was me that was waiting for it to crash. It wasn't crashing out, so.
Right.
It finally.
Yeah, I'm back in.
Terminate. Oh, I did have money, Arthur. I was at 689, but it wasn't showing a countdown for completion. But my funds were depleting.
Are you the War Master?
Yes.
Then that might be from building buildings. Because I know the system will go for the person stuff, and they'll use the War Master's funds. Although I think that got removed. I think that got fixed finally.
Jordan has plenty of cash on him.
Yeah.
I am.
Popped it.
I am. Got some weird effect going on. There we go.
Okay. Matt, I guess build us another builder bot. Actually, let me do it so I can actually show people what this looks like. If you don't mind. And I'm on the factory screen. I is the server. I'm going to put something on the automated system here, and here we go. And so now there's a countdown timer for both. So it looks a lot very good there, Matt. So the idea here is if I took like Adam's ship and put it here, it will have the countdown timer waiting. So, do these other new ships have shields on them at all? So we can test that, or no? Adam?
Nope, none of mine have shields on them.
So you did too, the Honor Guard and the Fubar?
Yeah.
Alright. So, since we're all here, each side build a shielded ship, meaning design, and use one of the known good models. If you know what I mean. Let's try not to do missiles quite yet, unless that's part of the test, but let's pop that out.
I'll put up a design for us.
I got one going in already.
Okay, never mind then.
I'm just waiting for it to complete.
Does yours have missiles on it?
I believe it does.
Alright, well I want one without missiles. Because that creates a separate problem that I know that's still in the game.
Because it was part of the when I hit the default design, it put it in there.
I know it. That's what it does, and I grant you that. But yeah,
In a second, I'll build another one. I'm trying to get to. I can't get rid of Jordan's messages to get the ogre to give him more money. So
yeah,
sorry, ogre.
yeah. That's another issue on the asset screen that is aware of. We gotta sit down and correct a lot of these things.
I'm just deleting his messages.
Now the intention is this is going to be the last live stream with Adam's old ship models. Is the intention that we're getting enough of the newer models that we can start just using newer models rather than old models, if you will.
Oh, I can't delete any of the messages. That's nice.
All right, so
Here you go, ogre. You have money now.
Okay, I created a new ship that has no missiles, level 2 lasers, and shields.
okay, do we even have level 2 lasers?
I do.
No, I don't. That again, that doesn't help the test, Jordan, because if you have level 2 lasers, how's that we're testing against level 1 shields? If we, we're trying to make a test where we're all on equal footing. So let's put the specs out there. How about four or five Orion Mark 1s, standard shields, all right, no missiles. If you want to do autocannons, the next test we can do that separately, but we're trying to test to see how good or bad the shields are for the same tier. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Stepping away. I'll be right back.
All right. So, all right, this guy's 307 space. He's got 4 guns on him, and I'm using the capital ship design. Although I can, guess I can use the fish. No, I'll just use the cap ship. Why not? Or red ship. Red ship's always nice. We'll use that one, and that fits right. All right, so that's the design, and it's gonna be called the blast furnace. All right. Matt, could you put out a second factory, please?
Give me a second. I just had a crash. I'm headed back in.
I didn't realize I had my thruster on this entire time. All right, so who's gonna joust? Hello?
Don't everyone jump at once.
Pretty much.
I'm playing City Builder over here. It's not my. It's literally
can
not my
joust.
job.
I'm just off in the distance, so let me know.
Let you know what, Paul?
We doing? You mentioned like someone like for jousting or something.
Ogre, how would you like
Yeah.
to murder Paul?
All right, I just crashed.
When we get back in the game.
Update queue grid from factory queue. So this is in the new factory screen. The stupid
Yep.
thing is, I wasn't even in the factory screen.
I am looking at the factory screen when I walked away from my keyboard.
So this got sent from a receive from somebody. From... Yeah, I don't even know who, because the damn log doesn't show me who it's from.
Will we all be looking at our logs then?
No, well, an incoming socket would be 2. Hold on. And that was Adam. Adam, were you adding something to the queue?
Yep, I was adding a new ship to participate in the testing.
Yep, and it crashed us. So, yeah. So I guess everybody out.
Yep, I'm out.
I just want to see,
I'm out too.
what's that?
I'm out too, I guess.
Oh, well, that you are, you aren't. You're out regardless.
Right.
I was trying to see what was the last save game that we have before I.
But you say that, Arthur, and yet I'm actually having to kill the game on my machine through Task Manager.
I quit out through the quit button on the desktop myself.
Yeah, I've found it's better. It's better if Arthur crashes. If you wait long enough, the game will become a pain to actually get out of.
All right. So it says save game 13. So we'll try that from there. So, Matt, I guess we're going to have to sit down and kind of really hammer on the factory screen and what it's doing.
I mean, I already have an idea of how I can fix it, just to get rid of it. The problem is that it's crashing in a string operation. So I think I should just eliminate the string operation with the gen collection. Then I can just look up IDs for whatever I need, and I don't have to be looking up file names.
Well,
And
like I said, all right, the server's back up. Before you go off doing all that, let's discuss what you're doing, and then we'll figure out if that's really the way to go. How's that? You know what I mean?
that's fine.
Back in, standing by.
All right, so I am back in, obviously. I wonder what's
Running.
why the frame rate's so bad. I mean, it's not. I guess it's OBS. That's part of the problem right there. So I know when I'm playing, even with just one other person, it's not quite like this. But yeah, I mean, you have to remember, it's still logging. So it'd be interesting to see where the bottleneck is with this many players at some point or another, just to see, do a profile and see what's killing the frame rate in a multiplayer situation like this. Or is it just OBS because it's encoding it in 4K in the background, which would be a thing. Now, Adam, I obviously didn't do, I guess, Matt's building another factory. I should see if, excuse me, Adam's design's in the list. I see my ship. Adam, which one were you trying to build?
Ooh, I don't even remember what the name was. I should have 3 designs there, like Fubar and 2 others.
And 2 others. I only see Blast Furnace, Fubar, and Honor Guard.
Yeah, then Scrap Machine, I guess, was not actually in this save.
Yeah. And like I said, it only saves every 2 minutes.
Ernest, it doesn't look like the ship you created is actually constructing.
I know. That's what I was talking about earlier. I couldn't. I removed it from the queue, but.
Alright, you can't remove it from the queue. It doesn't work that way.
I know it doesn't work that way. It just disappeared from the queue on my screen, but I figured it wasn't really gone.
I will try queuing one up. It is, which one is it?
Just choose one of the 2.
They're the same?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably about to crash on attempting to add it to the queue, but at least it'll be in, and hopefully... Yep, I crashed. That's okay.
Well, that part's unfortunately a known issue, it seems.
Saying, like, yes, and happened as expected, that's fine. Ernest, check to see if it went in the queue and if it's building.
It is. It is building too. It's actually counting down this time.
Cool.
So I will add another one just to see if it counts down.
What the hell is that?
Oh, sorry, I forgot the mic. Oh, sorry about that. I usually listen for the train to roll by and I mute my microphone.
I thought we were just getting some funky feedback going on or something.
But look at it this way, Arthur. He's so engrossed in your game, he forgot about the train.
There you
go. When I add stuff to the queue, well, it just crashed me now, but I've added 2 ships. The first ship didn't build, but it was in the
Ogre,
same
can you check to
factory.
see if the second one's building?
What's that?
I'm assuming you added it to the same queue that the other one was on, or a different one?
Yes, I did. I added it to the bottom queue just to see if it would work, and it
Okay,
did
can
not
you
start.
check?
So that one factory
Something's
is dead.
building, yes.
Both factories should be active.
Yes, something's building. Actually.
Going back in.
So
All
there's
right.
stuff queued in the second factory.
But it ain't doing it? Yeah, I see. Okay, Ernest isn't allowed to build things, apparently.
It depends how much money he has.
I should have plenty.
How
Let's
much money?
check.
How much money do you have?
Hold on.
Ernest has plenty. Almost 4,000 refined materials.
And what is he trying to build?
What's a thing that costs... Oh, well, yeah, that is super expensive, Ernest. It's
Right.
7,000 refined materials.
That's my point. That part's
Okay.
not the problem. It's part he's broke. In comparison.
Got you.
It's
So
not a
the
flaw,
other
it's a
ones,
feature.
I got you now.
Yeah.
I thought it would start queuing up even though the money wasn't there.
No.
Well, I mean, it did queue up.
It queued up. It just went, no, we're waiting.
I thought it would start to build. So we're following the European model, not the American model.
Dream big, Ernest. Dream big.
Something like that. Now, it should at this point skip the things to what it can build. So if you put like that 7,000 cost ship in there, and then someone put in like a 3,000, and they had the money for it, it will start building his ship, even though he's not at the top of the queue. So
Well,
that should work, huh?
I was gonna say, I have lots of money, I'll build them, but then I remember that every time I try to throw something on the queue, I have to restart the game. That's less fun.
Yes, I'm not.
But we're about to get one ship for the test.
All right. I see Adam, or I assume that was Adam, made a ship.
Yep.
And he already produced it. I already produced one of mine. I'll produce a second one just for ha-has. I'll
Or
put it
did
in
that
the
one
factory.
actually had missiles in it? I didn't remove them yet.
Because the default always puts the guild mission there once you get them.
Yeah, I'll go build another one.
Go build another one. I'm gonna send you a bunch of my money.
Well, I'm gonna build it with less cheap, so it's not that expensive.
No, that's the whole thing. We need to see, all right, at 10 armor thickness and 10 shielding, how good is it in a firefight?
I attempted to send Ernest money. It doesn't look like it went through, but one problem at a time.
All right, so 10.
That's still there.
No
10,
idea. It could
10
be on
shield,
my end. It could be
10
that
armor.
I'm a mayor. Who knows?
No, it should. It should. Are you the war master? No, you're not the war master.
I'm
But
the
it should
war
work
master.
anyway. Yeah, Adam, you're there. On Thursday, let's just all the different problems we're talking about today. You know, with the transfer of money, of all the rest of this stuff, of the factory screen, etc. Let's just really try to, you know, uh, let's just try to address them directly. Basically, I want my primary mission to get rid of all the bugs. Regardless of the new features, let's get rid of all the ones we know about.
How many lasers?
That are kind of...
I
I
believe
did...
or they said 4.
Yeah.
4 lasers? Okay.
Because I built a decent size thing.
What's fun is that by this time, I also am just about ready to do deflector shields too.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for Ernest, I don't want to have an argument. I wanted to explain my... It's sort of like, think about when we used to play StarCraft 2, and imagine if when I zerged into your base, all of your workers scattered out of the base.
They would have survived.
They would have survived, but you would have lost so much critical time that you would have never been able to catch up.
You wouldn't have been able to get the resources back it took to recreate them. That's usually... It's not so much it takes time to have them. It's the problem is that it takes time for them to... Oops, wrong button.
Crash.
What's that?
Just got a random crash.
I just crashed it this time when I added the queue, so I don't know what that was. If I added to
Alright.
your crashiness.
I crashed too, so.
Well, I just jumped into my shielded ship. That shouldn't have crashed you all, but...
I don't know. I'm ready if you want to log.
Like I said, this is more for the live stream stuff, so we'll worry about it later.
Okay.
If you want to come in on Thursday when we do our normal testing, then that's fine. When we're doing like off-screen testing,
Okay. But to the discussion, part of it is part of my argument is that like, but time to get things done is an asset. You know, so
I
it
am
might
not
not be.
debating that. I understand where you're coming from, but I think you're being very short-sighted with it. Using your StarCraft 2 example, generally in StarCraft 2, you end up having what, like 10 workers or so, give or
You start
take?
with
Okay. Or maybe even more. It's not unheard of. Well, you have 20 or so, let's say. Let's say 20.
once you get working, yeah.
Yeah, all right, fine. So you have 20 workers there. Let's say they're 50 crystals each, right?
Hmm.
Right? And so that would be 1,000 crystals. That's a lot of money. Some guy comes waltzing in there and eats the entire batch. You're out 1,000 credits. How long is it going to take you to re-earn that 1,000, especially now you don't have the workers? How long is it going to take you to, make up that money? And could you really afford 1,000 just to go flush down the toilet? Because especially in StarCraft, you have a finite amount of money, meaning the crystals don't come back.
Right.
So if someone came waltzing in there and started shooting up the place, and you didn't have anybody there as defensive, wouldn't you prefer the guys to scatter the four winds? They'd probably get two or three of the builder bots, or the worker bots rather, since we're using the terminology. But by the time they, uh, your forces did arrive, you take care of the intruder, and they all come back.
I think though what it kind of boils down to is you're sort of dead either way. Either you manage to bring somebody back and clear them out of the intruder, but you remember that time is a resource as well. The time you've lost not collecting resources and not building anything is going to give your enemy an advantage, especially if in this metaphor they're zerging. You're dead. You're already dead. You just don't know about it. And so
You need to defend
similarly,
better. Then you need to defend better. You've lost the game with
but that's what I'm
strategy.
saying. Like, having our builder bot run like this, where all it can do is run very far away. I don't know that actually gets us anything.
It
If
does
we're
in the
already
sense of you don't have to rebuild it, especially if you don't even have a factory yet, or your factory's been destroyed. And as Ogre into the test, apart from the bug that it keeps him wanting to hump the ground, Ogre had a time trying to track the thing down.
Yeah, it was hard to run after and grab. But also, let's take it a step further. Okay, you still have a factory. You don't have any resources.
Right.
But you don't have a refinery, you don't have a mine, nothing. You just have the factory. You're still screwed.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, I got a bug for you.
Okay.
No shortage of them today.
When you have two things in queue, like two factories going at the same time, uh, the countdown of the one ship is identical to the countdown of one of the other ships in the queue. So if I have two ships at the same time being queued up and they're being built, one in each factory, the one of the times was the exact same as the other ship's time.
Okay. Got it. For the purple one that's being produced.
It's not being produced anymore. I mean, I'm not in I'm on beta team. You're in alpha. I'm just saying in my factory screen.
Yeah. No. Whatever's being produced
Uh huh.
is going to
Yeah.
be highlighted in purple. So
No.
if you've got one being produced in each queue, and
Uh-huh.
those have the same time, but they're not the same ship,
Correct.
then that okay. That's what's happening. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
note it down.
Yes. They weren't the same ships. There were two different ships. But the one factory had the same queue time as the other. But the factory displayed the right time. It was just the time under the ship that was incorrect.
Okay.
I have a ship out now.
All right. So are we going to test this?
That's what I thought we were doing.
All right. So shall we meet in no man's land in the middle? I'm still getting a weird pause. Like every 10, 20 seconds it pauses out. So I don't know if I'm ideal to participate, but we'll see what happens. All right. I'm in one of Kathleen's red ships out in kind of a no man's land because everybody gather around here.
I'm in the same ship I flew past you.
Okay. I will kill my thrusters. Anybody who's going to participate in the test, please come here, please.
I am approaching.
Yes, so I see.
Am I moving towards your ship then, with the big shield on it?
I don't know. Are you?
I have one. I have one ship owned by you that has a shield on it.
All right. Well, there's a couple tests we need to do. The first test is how long does it take to breach the shield with standard. This is a standard ship. This is, even though it's a heavy ship. It's got 300 spaces to do what I have here, which means I have 4 guns, decent speed, armor thickness of 10, if you will, and shield thickness of 10. And so what we want to see is how long does it take to actually hurt somebody. So Ernest is spinning in place.
Yep.
So I'm going to shoot him at this distance and see how long it takes me to breach a shield and actually hurt him. All right?
All right, I'm sitting still.
Okay. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, I got still moving. 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I am slowly burning through his shields, and I'm paused out completely.
Regenerating faster than you were burning fuel.
Yep. So, Adam, there's your data.
There we go. Going up now. Going up.
Yeah, but you're sitting still being a target. In a firefight, I would never be able to kill you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I still have not gotten through your shields yet.
Also keep in mind that just the way that the shields work, by the fact that he's sitting still, there's more energy available to use the afterburning firing weapons. There'll be less energy available to regen the shields.
Alright, tell you what. Ernest, shoot your weapons past me. Don't actually shoot me to shoot your weapons past me. Alright? And I'm gonna shoot you.
You're really not damaging me anymore.
Yeah, I'm really not. We're slowly getting through, but Pulse is always good at shooting through stuff anyway. Adam, is that your ship?
There we go. That has
Yep.
ruptured the shield.
That's my ship.
Alright. So that's kind of the point right there. Is so with 10 armor thickness, at least with the regen the way it is, it's OP. Plain and simple.
I'll make the regen even smaller than.
I think physically, meaning size-wise, it's fine. I don't think the regen rate is exactly appropriate for what it is.
Sorry, Barrett, can you hold it for a second?
Yep.
Sorry, what were you saying, Arthur? Because I can't hear him.
I think that the armor level might be okay. I just think that the regen rate is too OP.
Yeah, I'll try to scale that back by like a factor.
Yeah. And if we're sitting still and we're not really hurting each other, then that kind of negates the whole point of a firefight. Unless you want to sit there and go into a firefight, Ernest, and see what actually happens, which is what Adam was saying. We can do that.
Let's give it a try.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think it probably won't make a difference because basically the fact that you're not be able to focus fire them will probably basically even out with the fact that you're more energy for it.
I just don't think it's going to be enough, considering. Are you?
Yeah.
Now, I do also think that the pulses do more damage to the ship, but we always knew that anyway.
Plus, also remember, even if you're afterburning, you're probably not firing.
Yeah.
So the shield's gonna get better. So there's lots of different factors that. Yeah, if you're going all out, you probably don't have the power to regen, but
Yeah.
you probably can't go all out because it's kind of hard to do that.
Now, Adam shooting him with the pulses do significant amount of damage to his shielding, but lasers, not so much. That's definitely a thing. Looks like Adam's pursuing you too. Landing some good hits. But even now, his shields are almost completely regenerated at this point. Despite the damage we've been doing to him. I mean, if you get a good, like, solid hit on them, that's one thing, but, you know, brushing back and forth, yeah, you're not doing jack. Now, the shield have to be reversed on, like, some of the models, as we've noticed, so the fish ship, the shields are on backwards. So some of you might be exposed. So if he does hurt you, it's because of that, not because of anything else. So definitely have to validate all the damn ships with their shielding. So the new ships, what do people think of them as far as modern versus just, oh, I like it, whatever. This isn't, you know, Etsy or whatever that is, you know, Pinterest. It's a matter of, like, in all seriousness, if you saw those ships in a, you know, $30, $60 game, well, let's say a $30 game, because that's what this is going to be, would that be acceptable, or would you sit there and go, these graphics suck? That is the question that we'll be asking for the next couple months, probably forever. Is this acceptable, or is this good? Is this wow? What are they? Alright, I can't hear you, Ernest, I'm sorry. Looks like, with people ganging up on Ernest, he's actually getting some ouchie on him.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there, yep, that took care of it. So between some pulses, some beams, stuff like that, he dropped. So that's 3 on 1. That's what requires to take him down. 3 on the freaking 1. And even then, all that's really wrong with him is his engines are down. His guns are still running, his reactor's still up, which means if we pop his reactor, then that's going to be interesting, because then the shield's going to drop.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I think the reason why we're able to beat him was because Paul's using one of the starter ships, which are actually on an entirely different damage scale.
Right, that's probably why we're able to get through in the first place. Yeah, well, but that's the point, and that was the whole point of this particular test, was like, okay, what does it really take to take you know, him down, you know? And so, yeah, the shields are... So, that's the question for everybody else. Okay, say the regeneration isn't as good as it is right now. Is the amount of damage it takes, is that overkill? Meaning, should it... Yeah.
Like, I think what that was basically, I'd like to do for the test, maybe create a version of the shield that just basically has, like, 0 regen.
Okay.
See how it feels. And then I'll do the one where they simply reduce regen. We'll see if that one is the sweet spot.
I don't know if a 0 regen will screw with the equation. You can't have it exactly at 0.
Okay, what about, like 0, 0, 0, 0,
1, whatever. Yeah, you can do that. But with the outright 0, it's going to cause a problem with the equations.
Find out 0 and go to exponential prices and die.
It might. I don't want to find out the hard way, do you? You'll find out very easily. Okay, there goes this reactor. Now you can watch his shields drop. There they go. Ha! And now he's just toasty. But honestly, it was Paul killing him. I was just there hitting his booty.
When the shields drop, they usually drop on the actual, like...
Yeah, that's one of the bugs I have. They drop on the monitor, but they don't drop in the main viewport. Yeah. They don't reset properly either, which is another issue. So, since we'll be working on shields, then that's going to be a thing. Like I said, a lot of the graphical fidelity is going to change. So, if people could, there are 4 new ships. Just build a little weenie ship using all 4 models, and let's see what they look like.
Define weenie ship.
Well, just pick something default out of the quick builder, and just to use the model. Something that's viable ship rather than something else, and then do it that way. Someone's firing missiles, it seems.
I was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's going to cause problems, but this game. But no one's been crashing. We know where the bugs are. I know there's a bug with the missiles in the sense of joining if there's one in flight at this point. It's one of the things I was testing or trying to correct earlier this morning. It is a known issue. It will be fixed by next time, I hope.
Am I being shot by missiles now? Because something's happening to me.
Possibly.
Did you fly too close to our base?
I already fired 2 missiles. I figured, given the way they bounce around, it should kill enough people.
I just shot some incoming missiles coming at me, and now I froze.
Yep,
Crashed
I
against
crashed.
that.
I'm assuming I won't be able to get back in because of the missiles.
If they're still in flight, then no. You can try it.
I just crashed in one of those locations.
Yes, that's exactly the point.
Hmm.
That's why I was warning people don't use them. But yep.
But I
They're-
thought you said don't use missiles during the testing phase, not during the game at all.
What seems to happen
Understood.
is anybody able to get back in, or is it a problem?
I'll let you know. I'm about to reconnect.
All right. So I can tell.
Connecting.
Yep.
I crashed same spot.
Are you able to get in, or is that it?
I'm in. I'm in right now.
Matt can get in and see what happens.
Hold on, I'll try again.
Don't fire the missiles, please.
No, I'm gonna get rid of the ship. How do you? Oh, I crashed.
Right.
I was gonna detonate the ship, but it didn't work.
No, it didn't work. Okay, so on my screen in the live stream, these are one of the new model designs. And of course, someone crashed and has frozen the system.
Or it might just be I just rejoined. I think.
Well, I'm back running again, so I don't know.
I rejoined and then crashed. Okay.
Server up or no?
Well, the server's been up. But at this point, it may be poisoned.
I think it's poison because I had this. I joined and crashed again too.
Right, so we're at poison point. Alright, so what I've been trying to do is track down what keeps poisoning the server, and I've tracked it down. It's the missiles. That
I'm in successfully.
Could you target them, Arthur, and destroy them as a server?
that's not the point. They're in the system.
Yep, spoke too soon.
Right.
Yeah, my
Um,
crash did the same thing, Matt.
yeah. So I can go to an older save and
Yes.
go back a couple minutes before all this kind of started to happen. And so
We
just
can
don't fire
destroy
missiles.
those ships so I don't jump into them and fire by accident.
Alright, then that's what we'll do then. I'll exit
Also,
out of the
in that
server.
case, don't fly too close to our base. Some of the turrets are definitely missile turrets.
Right.
But, the building screen's set up, so I couldn't tell you which ones.
The building screen is set up, isn't it?
You haven't said those words yet.
I don't remember what state the weapon swap was in.
I don't know if you can swap the weapons, but it'll just tell you at least what gun it has.
Yeah. That's true.
So
Basically go into the asset screen, and then
Well, you
on
can't
each,
right now. I'm waiting for the server to be up.
in order to access the building screen, you go into the asset screen, open up the building bars, and click the icon on the left-hand side,
Okay.
and that will take you to the building screen for that building.
okay, how far in do you think we got?
I was only about 2 minutes before when I fired the missiles. So
Alright, let me
finish it.
refresh. Alright, we got to save 26. I'll do save 24. How's that?
Try that.
Alright. So that means we got in for a good 48 minutes. Okay, this is when people were shooting at Ernest.
Yeah, I don't think I fired missiles yet.
Yeah. So meaning your stationary ship, if you will.
Yeah, I have not flying back to.
Alright, server's up. So Paul, if you could get in, because I think your guy's constantly firing now because he doesn't know when to stop.
I'm connecting.
There you go.
Yes, I haven't gotten close to you yet, so I haven't fired the missiles.
Alright, so yeah, don't actually fire the missiles.
What's the... Great.
Well, I had to kill it. What's that?
It's the E key to explode the ship, right?
It's not going to do anything. You'll see it on your end. It won't do anything on the server, and therefore no one else will see it.
I just want to get rid of the ship so I don't jump into them anymore.
goes blow it up. But regardless of which, all right. So I guess I'll demonstrate what Matt was talking about with the asset screen.
I just crashed again with the
That's cool.
location bug.
Yeah, just bombed out.
Yep.
We might need an earlier save.
I think we might need an earlier save. All right, so be it.
There were no missiles in that, so because I was not near you guys yet, so you go back one more, but
We did what 24. I'll do 20. Basically, I'm making it kind of my life's mission to get rid of all these crash the desktop and all the rest of these problems that are coming up, regardless of new features and such, because it just can't keep happening. So, all right. So it looks like we're here at the test. So you're still at full whatever inside your thing. So the server's up.
all right, connecting. Yes, I am.
Because what we've discovered is we used to keep playing this for like 30, 40 minutes, and then it would get to a point that people can't get back in the game anymore. And what I pretty much figured out is it has something to do with the way the missiles were being handled, because someone would put down a turret and something would get fired and that kind of thing. I also found out that the buildings weren't actually recording damage between the saves, and so if you damage their armor and a reload happened to happen, they'd be fresh. That's not the case anymore. The damage is now recorded appropriately. The way the pulses and missiles were handled were a little bit more weird, and therefore that's what's causing the problem. I did fix part of the problem, but for whatever reason, my fix is corrupting the cities for some reason, which I don't understand why. It might just be a memory leak kind of situation. And so I was still investigating that when I ran out of time around 2 o'clock today. At a certain point, I have to go, okay, no more changes, that's it. So yeah. So if people could, as I was saying, make a ship of each type of using the brand new models, and let's see what they look like out in the middle of the screen and see what people think of them.
And that you said just with just the defaults?
Just with the defaults, you don't need anything special with them. We're just trying to get them out the door, rather than worrying about.
Desktop, the quick builder didn't load fully when it crashed.
I mean, it didn't load fully.
It was just a blank template, no buttons or anything, and then it crashed.
Okay, is anybody else experiencing that?
I'm not even able to get onto the server. I'm hitting connect and it just hangs.
I mean, I just crashed, but at the normal spot where I put one of those ships you requested on the factory, so I did not.
Well, that much we would know would happen.
So, to explain, I did not experience that problem.
Yeah. So the server is up.
I'm building stuff.
All right. So
Yeah.
Ogre's in.
Sorry,
He says, right?
I was clicking the wrong server name. It scrolled and I thought.
Well, yes. I can't help you with PepCAC.
Okay, now here I'm back.
Right.
Where do I choose a silhouette again?
Excuse me?
Where do I choose a silhouette again?
A hole on the bottom right, on the bars on the right side. And the new ones, it's easier to just go left from the
Yeah.
where it starts you.
Yeah, I'll even show that on the server screen. I'll bring up the quick design there. We click on hull, and it is easier to have everything scroll off to the right, so it's off to the left. There's like 3 of them. There's the green guy, the.
For safety, though, after you hit defaults, I would recommend taking the Gilgamesh off.
Oh yes. Although you have a Seeker Mark II. What's that? We must have gotten power required 500 space. That's what we need. I should put there. We need an icon there saying what kind of weapon this kind of thing is. That's what I need to add to this. Matt, could you add that down? I should put icons of what these things are
For which screen?
for the quick designer. Because I see Secret Mark 1 and it tells me the stats, but I don't know if it's a beam or a pulse weapon or something else like that. So we're not even talking about Gilgamesh's anymore. We're talking about Seekers.
Got it.
Again, not that that's overtly your problem, but it's a matter of like, yeah, we need to do something about that. So, I guess I'll build one of the big thick guys. The freighter.
And you said make sure there's no shields, right?
No shields, unless you want to see an Eldritch Horror. Please don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm just double checking.
Matt, how would you describe the Eldritch Horror that we came across?
Do I then hit save or apply or?
Save.
I'm having a problem where, like, once the hole's
Cool.
been selected once, I can't select the hole anymore.
Same.
Well, you click on a different button and then click back. That's another problem. So click on like armor and then you can click back on hull. You can change it.
I've even completely reloaded the ship builder and it hasn't let me change it.
That one worked for me, I guess.
Reloading ship builder won't change anything. You actually have to click on a different button.
Yeah, I'm building my ship apparently.
So, Beta team has a problem adding to the factory and crashing, but Alpha team doesn't, correct?
No, everyone does.
Everyone has the problem. It's just as the server I don't have the problem.
Okay, that's good.
Although
Reconnected.
yeah, I'm frozen here.
Oh yeah, I'm frozen. Just bombed out.
I'm still joining. Still joining.
All right, there we go.
I'm in.
Relaunching.
Okay, so I'm just kicking out some cheesy ship. Could someone bring out the two middle fighters? The little gray triangular ones?
I think I queued up one of them.
Not the green ship, we got plenty of those, and I'm bringing out one of the freighters.
I got the green ship. Jordan's got the one that looks like a horseshoe.
It shouldn't be.
That's what shows up on my screen. It says Flopper.
Are they to the left of the builder bot?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, which one do we need?
The two in the middle, not the freighter looking thing, because that's I kicked out one, and not the green thing. Everybody in the brothers seems to pick that one. Now they're not really rated to fly yet because I didn't change the cockpit point of view. So you're gonna be piloting. If you do pilot them, they'll be within the ship. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, so that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's easily changed. Was didn't have time. Like I said, I was doing this morning. But I am looking more from a graphical kind of okay. For a modern day game, is the look acceptable? Is the look good? Is the look, is it slightly better than good? Is it slightly better than, or slightly worse than good? I mean, I want honest opinions of what it is, not just because well, I don't know art, but I know what I like kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go pilot this ship if I can. I jumped in it.
I'm running back in again.
All right. I'm gonna go to no man's land between us, and let's go compare ships.
Connecting.
All right. All right. And oh, that's what I didn't do. I didn't put out the social media for saying, "Hey, we're doing this now." Oh well. Okay, so I'm in the middle, I guess. I guess I'll go up in the space here. And yeah. So basically, we're just trying to compare notes on, you know, how these things look. So could please people give their impressions, please.
Traveling. I think I'm traveling to you.
And if they have any suggestions on improvements, I'd like to hear it. Did someone just fire a missile?
Did I accidentally fire a missile?
Paul,
I didn't.
we just went through all this, and you just hit it,
Apologize.
and so you just shot the other ship out of the sky. Thank you, Paul.
I didn't realize that the ship had missiles. I apologize. I didn't check the quick designer for
We
that.
went through all that, and now you shot it out of the sky and just dropped. Thank you, Paul.
I do like. They're nice. Pretty. I like the designs.
Yes, the designs are good.
All right. I need like real commentary, not just like, hey, they're good. I need, okay, do you like the normal mapping? Do you like the shapes? Do you like the coloring? Do you like the, you know, um, basically what it comes down to, we are very used to how Rank War Master looks.
Yeah. This actually, they look like spaceships. You know, they look like something you would find in space.
Okay.
I mean, the
I like.
mapping, the normal maps, and the detail work is good for the one that was shot out of the sky.
hmm So what do you think of the green ships? What do you think of the two
Let's look at
fighters?
Paul's ship now. Hold still, Paul.
I like the shapes, the profiles of the new ships. They look much more like actual functional vehicles that
Mhm.
serve a purpose.
The color palette for most of them are actually are darker, which I kind of like.
Yeah, well, I got a texture pack, and the artist decided to use that for obvious reasons. I think I have. Do I have them going backwards? I have them going backwards.
The green ships go backwards.
Oh my god. I thought I had that.
Spin a little bit more, Paul. Just a little bit. All right, look down. Spin your ship downwards, Paul.
Look down.
Someone's
Yes.
pausing out. Someone crashed or something. There you go.
I'm rejoining.
All right.
Aren't the green ships like built with like the wings like pointing forward? I was assuming that was the cockpit.
Yeah, you went.
Yeah, it is.
That's
That
what I
is.
just said. We're backwards right now. Swing the other way, Paul.
I thought I had this. I guess I don't. Bloody hell.
This way.
That's
All right.
good.
All right. I just respawned all the ships because I don't feel like dealing with this. All right. I'm gonna see if I can find something to possess. That's the.
And where's the other one? What's the other ship that we're supposed to be looking at?
All right. Am I? Did I really screw this up and I have these things pointing backwards? So when I'm flying, the bridge is supposed to be towards the front. So how do you see it?
I can't tell what the front of the ship is and the one that you're flying. So hold still.
There's a engine in the back.
Yeah, yours is actually flying the correct direction. If you're
I'm flying correctly in the correct direction, then. You're saying.
Oh.
Oh yes, I guess I was just expecting the green ship to move the other way.
The green ship has a claw going the other way, but the problem is I do think it's flying backwards, which means I have that thing reversed again. Bloody hell.
The green ship?
No, the green ship's flying forward. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, the
I'm
green
flying
ship's falling
forward
the
right
correct
now.
way.
It's going. Then why was this thing going backwards before?
Maybe you saw somebody trying to stabilize after afterburnering, perhaps
Eh,
drifting.
I it's possible. I don't think so, but okay. All right. So the green ship's okay. The freighter ship's okay. Has anybody got the other two fighters?
I am in a fighter.
I know one's a little bit borked. I know one's backwards. I do know that for a fact. I noticed that before, and I was not happy about that. But it also the normals are off on it, and so I know it's borked anyway. The artist is correcting that.
I'm in one of the fighters doing flybys to keep people.
All right. So stop so we can actually see what it looks like on the live stream, if you would, please.
Oh,
I would like to, but I just crashed.
Same.
Okay.
Same location bug.
Yeah.
It's probably some random missile. Yeah, I'm watching someone firing missiles. You know, I don't know how much more I can state that if you do, that's going to cause a problem.
I didn't fire missiles this time. It wasn't me.
Well, I just watched someone do it. Um,
I'm joining.
Good luck. All right.
Yep, and I'm out again.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Like I said, I watched someone do it, and I warned people that if they do it, that's going to cause a problem. So, Adam, did you shoot the missile?
Nope.
All right.
All I got are pulses.
I was looking at all the different ships that were over there, and so it was like 2 of them were mine, so it wasn't me, and 1 was Matt, and then 1 was you. So.
I don't build enough missiles.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on then. Well, we know it's borked at this point, because no one can join in, correct?
Yep,
Correct.
just tried.
Alright. I saw a missile fly, and yeah. Um, see what the last save was. Went up to 27? Really? Okay. So, I guess, should we go to 27 since it seemed to be stable at that point? Still?
Or
We'll go from there. And that will, I guess, once we're done this, that will be kind of the testing, unless we just want to go at it. I still want to kind of what everybody's view of the different ships there, which ones they prefer, what they'd like to see more of, that kind of thing. Do they think it's appropriate for the kind of game this is? That kind of thing.
The rectangular looking one's a freighter, right?
Yes, that's purposely was the only freighter that came out of the batch.
And the other ones were meant to be fighters, right?
That's correct.
They look the part.
Is the server ready?
It is now. I mean, I wish I could tell you to like put shields on these things, etc. But the shields are the auto shielder was definitely borked it. I don't know if anybody's even trying to join because it's just sort of sat there.
I just crashed again on the location.
I was
Yeah,
joining, I'm in, but
was-
it looks
I
like it's gonna
think-
crash.
Based on where I was when I did that autosave was literally right as we were last crashing.
Lovely. All right, I'll exit out and come back in. We'll do 26. Like I said, at least we know what the problem is, even though it's not fixed. I intend to directly address it. I was this morning. I even rewrote the entire way the system handles, the network state for missiles and pulses. So it will definitely be addressed by next time. I was hoping to have it all addressed by today, but it didn't happen that way. All right, give it a shot.
all right, joining in.
Yep.
All right. The ship build it definitely put a weird configuration of weapons. That's for sure.
Well, that's just the algorithm doing that one.
So
Yeah.
I'm back over with the group. I'm in one of the fighters, so flying over to you guys, then I will stop. So here I am.
All right. So I'm flying in with one of the green ships, 'cause that's evidently what I was in this save game.
I just accidentally launched another missile because I had to. I'm trying to click to get to the quick design a new ship that doesn't have missiles.
Paul, switch to a ship. Well, it's you've already screwed it, so
Ah,
you know there's nothing I can do about it.
sorry about that. I guess somebody like take out my ship so I can like.
It doesn't matter. It's already been done. All right, so we see 3 of the 4 new ships. Does anybody have the one with the long nose?
When I get back in, I can build one.
All right.
Or I may have queued it up to build before a little while ago, but I'll take a look back at our base.
So we have that one. We have this new one over here,
Personally, the one I was flying in is my favorite.
which is which one?
Um,
What does the cockpit look like? Yellow, blue, freighter,
Yellow.
or the big green ship?
I believe yellow.
All right.
It looks pretty flat.
That doesn't.
Whatever. I'm looking on the live stream. Yes, that one.
All right. Too bad I keep pausing out. I really gotta do a profile to see where that's coming from.
Sorry about that.
Was that pulse or was that missiles?
That was pulses.
All right, pulses are okay.
Yeah, it just it fired for no reason, and then it crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's scratching me out, so I can't get in.
Then there was, well, like I said, Paul had already said he fired the missile and that was going to cause a problem. So, all right. Now, how do people feel about removing all the old ships and replacing it with like these and the other ones that are coming in?
Honestly, the whole list is so choked up with ships that we wouldn't want to use anyway because they're the old ships. I'd rather just remove them.
I agree.
Well, we're going to get choked up with the new ships eventually.
Yes, but then at least you're choked up with options, not choked up with stuff I don't want.
Okay. All right. Is there any suggestions for the people who are working on these ships in the sense of, should there be more normal mapping? Should they be darker? Should they be lighter? Should they be like the white and green ship? Should they be more blocky, more curvy?
I like the green ship with the odd like lines and like profile and stuff. It's nice to distinguish the ships easily just by looking at their overall form, and I also just like how interesting they are in terms of how they look.
Yeah, generally a variety of basically styles isn't bad as long as we have, it's not just like one of a single style. Like we have basically like say like 5 or 6 or up to like maybe like even just 10 of a single style. That kind of like makes a cohesive set. That way, if you say you like a certain style, you can make an entire fleet of ships from that style, while allowing yourself to have a variety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd rather not say, oh, it should be more like one thing. I'd rather just first see the variety they produce.
Yeah, the variety that's here is pretty intriguing.
Well, basically, these are from 2 different artists. Well, we include Kathleen, that's 3 different artists. So Kathleen did the red ship, which has a nice, sleek, velvety look, if you know what I mean. Another artist did the blockier looking ships, which are the darker fighters and the freighter. You probably can tell that based on the styling that was used. And a different artist did the green ship, who's doing another one. They're all doing others even as we speak. But I just wanted to see if like someone went, "Oh my God, no, Arthur, you shouldn't do that," or "Oh no, I know you had these other ships made, but they're still sucky," or something else like that.
No, actually, these are pretty nice.
Okay,
the
that's
texturing from what I've seen is very good too. So
the what? I'm sorry, could you repeat that last part?
what's that?
What was the last part? The what you were currently seeing?
The texturing on the freighter was pretty interesting.
Yes. That was actually from a texture pack that I picked up relatively recently, and I asked them to use it, and so they did, and you see the result.
Yeah, it is. It's very. I like it. So.
All right, there you go. But that was also part of the question because the other guy did not use the texture pack; he just did his own thing, and so it looks different. So that's what I'm trying to say. should we go more towards texture pack based ships or more towards like the hand drawn stuff like he did with the green ship?
It should be varied. The answer is yes.
Okay,
For
fair
both.
enough, fair enough.
I mean,
But
if you look at No Man's Sky, all those ships are so different.
yeah,
What we
they're
have
also
so
very
far
pastel-y. Go ahead.
what we have so far looks good for fighters, and look, the freighter looks fine for a freighter too. But I'd have to see that size scaled up to see if the capital ships in that done by these
Yeah.
artists would be any good.
I agree. Neither one has done a cap ship. Actually, no one's done a cap ship except Nisha way back in the day. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how that actually ends up looking. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, that really concludes what I was hoping to accomplish today. Well, obviously, we're having problems with the missiles. We're having problems with the shielding. Adam, I hope at least you got some data about the shielding.
Yeah, I know what I want to do next.
Okay. And now there has been some other changes. For example, the turrets now have different ranges and such like that. Although I'm not sure they're in the tech web yet. Um, we're trying to make the turrets much more practical as a base defense than what they have been. What's been holding them back is very limited range and limited firepower, if you know what I mean. And so we want to make sure, at least early game, that even a tier 0 turret should handle like 3 or 4 ships. Late game, not so much, but early game, right now they can't do very much. When they have their missile launchers, at least the missiles track you, but even then, the missiles run out of juice before they can really hit anything. If you are just doing a flyby. So yeah, so that's what we're kind of doing there. So is there anything else that people wish to address? All right. What are people's opinions of the detail texture that's down on the ground?
That's an improvement. That's for sure.
I didn't really notice, even after you pointed it out.
Okay. You always zoom in further. I presume you're seeing all the rocks and stuff like that I put there, Ernest, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What was everybody else's opinion?
It definitely gives it more of a planet feel to it.
Some of it looked a little obviously repeated, but that might have also been artifact of when I looked at it, and I didn't really look that closely at it again after I noticed that.
I mean, there's no doubt it's the same texture repeated over again, but it should be diffused enough that it shouldn't be that bad.
Well, no, this was on a small scale. That's what I mean. Like looking down at the planet looked repeating, and I was not that close to the planet at that point.
If you weren't, well, it depends on how far up you were, but yeah. All right. Well, I mean that's an opinion. Okay. So those are the changes there, and I should expect more ships coming in by next time. I know Matt has been working on the tutorial to a certain degree. We're also going to be updating some of the graphics on some things. So yeah, so the graphics are going to be changing a lot over the next couple months. So this is just kind of preliminary stuff that we're doing. And so stability and improved graphics are what mostly I'm working on. The tweaking to the AI will of course happen. I wanted the enemy fighters to be under the new AI for this test, but we don't have any enemy AI fighters. So that's sort of not even a test. So yeah. So I think for what I'm trying to get done, we got done. Is there anything else that anybody else wants to attempt? Or comment on before we wrap up for today?
I'm good.
Okay. For those on the live stream, I just want to point out, I'll use my mouse to point out, you can see how the blending of the different level textures of this like valley or stream kind of texture that looks kind of like a vein, if you will, is actually goes across several miles, which is why when it was just that, it looked very plain. But now with the rock surface added in, it actually looks like, okay, it's sand, it's rock, etc. One could argue that maybe I should make the rock smaller, but in the end, it actually gives it a lot more flavoring that the terrain is definitely looks a lot more like rock rather than just simply being there. So we'll see how that one turns out in the long run. But in any case, again, I thank you everyone for coming. These ships will be flyable, I mean the new ones, by next time, I'd hope. Hopefully I'll get someone to do shielding for it in the meantime. And we'll go from there. So I am going to kill the live stream. And as Jordan mentioned, any questions for the audience? I don't think anybody's watching, but there you go. All right, well, I'm going to stop the stream. So thank you again all for coming, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you later.
User disconnected from your channel.
All right, well, we're no longer streaming, but we are recording, so hold on.
All right.
I think
Hold on.